think about
With loaded.
What? Oblivion loaded? Do you really come for me?
Ago, so I'm gonna talk about it. It's my birthday, so I didn't have a lot of time to make a video, but this is pretty cool. Talk about reference. I made a video, seeing if I can make chicken in the dishwasher, and it worked. And then I was
Ikenki shayo arigato.
taking a normal blanket and folding it in half once.
That's what I'm saying.
This is so much worse than a normal beanbag.
Let's fold it out. Hang on. Hello, I am a blanket.
Oh, my back. Do you do massages?
Go straight through to the floor. It's so hard.
Give me a fucking
Them?
night. I want to see what
Yeah.
Look
What does that mean?
You know, do you give massages, you know?
at that coffee. Oh my god.
This sucks.
What if I paid you a little bit
Yeah. Bring back
extra?
that glass. I'm investing.
The guy was asking for $200,000.
That's a yes?
How much?
$200 for a massage.
What yeah, I would do for $200.
Alright, with a happy ending.
No.
Come on, bro. It'll only take...
201.
It'll only take 30 seconds.
$201.
You know what? No, fuck you. 202, 50 cents. Do we got a deal?
No.
Alright, you know what? Fuck it. Deal's off. Guys, we're drafting Shador Sanders.
Was in return for 20% equity, and he ended up getting $200,000 but for 58% equity. So the investor took over the whole company.
And where is the company now?
8 months after
This fucking chair hurts my ass so much.
Really go to these idiots with anything. Okay, alright, next one.
Yeah, we get it, big boy. You're used to your ass hurting.
Oh, I've seen videos of this.
So it's like schoolyard
It's like handball, but at the beach. And
yeah, you hit.
yeah.
Okay.
So 1v1 spike ball.
Yes, I'm too drunk to assemble that.
Darcy. Alright, we now have spike ball. Roll over. Now.
Oh wait, what's the rules? Look up the rules.
the rules are that two players have to come up with the rules together and agree upon.
Okay, if it hits the net,
No.
If it rolls off the side, it's a foul.
Alright, let's go. What's this called? Spike ball. Alright, let's go.
You ready?
Spike ball.
Come on! Is that allowed?
Not only was this my most anticipated movie,
Oh, fuck!
I take it.
God,
That's
that's
a
a
lot.
Did you see Josh Allen's wife?
You have to hit it again.
You mean our wife? Haley Steinfeld? I've been known about Haley Steinfeld. I think before she was even with Josh Allen. Oh yeah.
That's crazy. That guy better give another fucking MVP this year.
if the Lions don't, they better win the Super Bowl, bro.
It's about time, dude. Look at what's happening to you.
I've been gooning to Haley Steinfeld though.
What?
I've been gooning to Haley Steinfeld though.
I just saw a comment that was like,
No.
Oh.
I'm talking to my cat.
Oh.
She's meowing at me because she wants me to open the window and let her outside. Are you playing Oblivion?
Yeah.
It's fun, dude.
Really?
Yeah, I just got fucking pissed last night because I got into fucking that massive cave and I'm still fucking lost in it. No, Evie, don't lay there.
You were born 87 years.
Oh, no, Evie.
Oh. I know this guy from Skyrim.
You have to hit it again. Okay. Yes! Oh, that was a good serve. Oh, good. Yes! Good play. Ah, man. But that's it. I'm seeing a lot of issues with this game. Oh, my nuts. Okay. What does that mean? What does that? I like it. It sucks. Okay, I'm ready for the beer. You guys.
I already want to play Skyrim right now.
Bro, just keep playing this, bro. It's literally just the same. It's like, it's very similar, bro.
Give me another one, man.
I wish I could do mods.
There are mods. Jalen was texting me earlier and he was recommending me a mod because apparently there are some like FPS issues in the overworld, and I was like, you low key, like I did experience that because like last night I was talking about how when I left the cave and went back to like the overworld, it was like so much like laggier, and he was like, yeah, there's a mod that like fixes that and it works with the Game Pass version.
Oh.
Yeah. CX. Oblivion Remastered FPS mod.
Shit, these graphics are nice.
Right, bro?
What is going on, everybody? This is just.
Why didn't they just do this with fucking Skyrim?
Dude, fuck if I know. Apparently they're supposed to be working on fucking Elder Scrolls 6.
I don't want to be an Argoni. Leap under water and get it.
Yeah, I think it's this mod. Ultimate engine tweaks, anti-stutter, low latency, no film rate, no chromatic aberration, lossless. Bro, the #1 downloaded mod for this mod is an anti-woke mod.
Anti-woke?
Yeah, so like in the original Oblivion, when you had the character selector, it said like body type, do you want male or female? And now it says body type 1 or 2. And
I
this
saw that. I literally just noticed that.
this changes it back to male and female, and it's the most downloaded mod on Oblivion Remastered so far. Shut up. Shut up, Jesus. Uh-oh, the comments on this mod are locked. Oh wait, no, it's not the biggest mod. It's just the most updated mod. But still,
Dude.
yeah, updated. You're not going outside. Not at 4 a.m. in the morning, bro. I don't know why you're staring at me like that.
4 a.m. I'm in already. That's quick. I'm going to die. Lucky day, stay out of my way and go where, nigga? What do I do?
It should literally tell you, bro. Are you like done with the create a character thing?
Yeah, like, do I follow these guys down the fucking thing?
Oh no, you're not. Yeah, just keep following them.
Oh. They just said stay out of my way, so that's why.
Oh, I think like at one point they're gonna block your path off, and then you need to take like an alternate path. But follow them as long as you can.
The fuck out of here, you fucking rat. And now where do I go? Oh. Oh. Zombie. You dead, nigga. Oh, pish posh.
Sucks. I liked it. Okay, that was the spike ball exercise. What was the original ask?
$500,000 for 10% equity.
I kind of enjoyed it, and I'm not saying that because I won.
I think there's a lot of problems with deciding how it fucking works.
What was the outcome in the end?
$500,000 for 20% equity. However, the shark wanted to do a Spider-Man
Brother, why do I have to go in this cave for
collaboration, so
10
they ended up
fucking
signing
years?
What?
Shh, this cave is huge. Why do I have to stay in here for a year?
Because you're still in the tutorial.
so they called it off, so they didn't take anything.
Why would you turn down a Spider-Man collab?
Because they wanted that to be like a recognized sport.
That is ego over brain. Where's the company now?
Apparently, Spikeball is pretty big. They do $19 million in sales annually.
Annually, once a year, $19
Oh,
million.
stupid crap.
I don't know nothing about business, I'll tell you that.
Alright, I'm happy with that. What's the next product?
It's called Reader Rest. It attaches magnetically, and it keeps your eyewear investment safe when it's not on your face.
Congratulations, I will give you fucking $1 million for 10%. But Chad, if there's a guy with a leaf blower, okay. What the fuck? I feel so powerful.
Blow my glasses.
It's doing nothing.
Okay, alright, now give me the glasses thing. These, they seem... They're a PowerPoint, stop! Max, pass me your shirt. I'm putting these glasses
Can I
here.
just say...
Shut up. We're now doing a comparison of the shirt and the magnet thing. Okay.
That felt fucking awesome. I feel like super refreshed.
Please tell me, Darcy, that they did
Damn,
not
that
pull-
shit scared the fuck out of
The
me.
guy for $150,000 for 15%
It just like
of
popped
his
out of
business.
nowhere.
I hope he did not get funded.
The Sharks ended up giving him $150,000 for 65% of his business.
Okay.
Oh my god.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
In the 3 years after the episode aired, they did $13 million in sales.
What the fuck? I have lost a lot of hope in humanity over the course of this episode. Are we stupid or are they stupid?
Alright, next product.
I wear glasses every single day.
Oh no! Glasses product.
We're the Haneys and our company is Nerdwax. It's hard to keep the glasses we love on our face.
No, it is. No.
Boss.
Nerdwax is a beeswax-based blend of all natural and certified organic ingredients, specially formulated to keep your
Goblin
glasses in
witch.
place. And you apply it
You're
directly to the
dead.
bridge or nose
I don't want fucking wax on my face. Give us the product.
Why do I need to put this on? I'm already wearing glasses.
I don't know, it's kind of funny.
These are very tight-fitting
Look at
glasses.
What the? I don't need fucking wax on my face.
Chad, try to remove these from my head. Do it again.
Stop, now lift your head.
Hey, Ned Wax.
What was he asked?
They were asked
Tell me they got nothing.
on the show, no sharks invested.
Good.
However,
No! No! Stop there!
in the 72
Holy
hours
shit, when
after
can
the
they go
show
outside
aired, they
already?
made $150,000 sales from people seeing it and trying to buy it anyway. They're out of business. They're still in business and that they've diversified, and now they make microfiber cloths that look like a pizza.
That is an awesome product.
Doesn't this give you like confidence that we could honestly design and sell anything? Like we could just design and sell anything. It does not matter what it is.
All right, last product.
We've created a fun new twist on a family tradition. The Mighty Carver!
I don't trust Chad with that. Chad, can I see if that saws into your flesh?
Bring me the chainsaw and things to cut. Oh, this is gonna be great.
I'm leaving. Oh, check this out.
Please, Max, not the glass. We need it. Whoa. It just broke. The voltage converter popped it as soon as I plugged it in and used it. Oh! This is what it would have been like.
Nine.
This is something that sits in the drawer that you bring out once a year.
They were asking for $100,000 for 20% equity.
They did not get that. Sure. I reckon $100,000 bought half the company.
For $100,000.
To make his identities believable. Linda, a woman from Minnesota, had moved in with Aldred, believing he was a decorated Navy SEAL, only to have her trust broken when he cleared out all of her retirement accounts before leaving the state to dodge the police. You got some retirement in there? She's like, oh yeah, what the long time? Give me a kiss. Another woman named Joanne was wine and dined by Aldred, who's posting as an international business attorney at the time. She realized that these were all being paid for by her because he had secretly stolen her social security number to open up a credit card account.
He is a very, very, very bad man.
No, baby, I got it. The coolest of all scammer. See? Having an episode today. Moving! Many people that participate in Stolen Valor are much more sinister, using it to prey upon innocent people for monetary gain. Let's talk about the Stolen Valor scams, starting with Derek Aldred, the serial romance scammer. See? Already getting into it. Derek Aldred would lie about his identity and scam women into giving him access to their finances to clear out their bank accounts. Sometimes he would pose as a Navy SEAL, and other times he was a doctor or a firefighter, but mostly a Navy SEAL. The coolest of all military people. Is it the SEALs or is it the Green Beret? I don't want to be a Green Beret. I want a Green Beret, dude. Make me a SEAL. Also, the Navy SEALs have the coolest commercials. The Navy does. It's them sitting like in a raft. There's like a fucking like giant boat on fire, and they fall back into the water. They emerge from the fucking ocean with guns. I'm here to fucking kill something.
Is that Marines?
No, it's Navy. Navy SEALs. Is that the National Guard? No. All that matters, dude, rock, flag, and eagle. Rock, flag, and eagle. His scams went on for 2 whole decades, as his efforts would be as elaborate as buying a slew of fake uniforms and even creating websites to make his identities believable. Linda, a woman from Minnesota, had moved in with Aldred, believing he was a decorated Navy SEAL, only to have her trust broken when he cleared out all of her retirement accounts before leaving the state to dodge the police. Dude. You got some retirement in there? She's like, oh yeah, what the long time? Give me a kiss. He's like, another woman named Joanne was wine and dined by Aldred, who's posting as an international business attorney at the time. She realized that these were all being paid for by her because he had secretly stolen her social security number to open up a credit card account.
He is a very, very, very bad man.
No, baby, I got it. I got it. There are countless stories like this from women who have had their lives ruined by Derek Aldred, with some losing as much as $250,000. That sucks. That's crazy. Listen, there's a difference between getting fucking wined and dined and having $250K stolen. That's crazy. But in the end, he was caught by police after more than 24 women's stories became linked to Aldred. He was given a maximum sentence of 24 years in prison alongside a $255,000 payment and restitutions. And the judge stated this, ladies and gentlemen. The defendant left a trail of tears, emotional devastation, and financial ruin behind him. It is clear that he will never change, and we expect his sentence to reflect that. We are glad we are able to give some level of justice for these women.
I'm not trying to to justify my behavior. My behavior was, I was a horrible boyfriend. Absolutely horrible. Destroying someone's life, I think, is a bit exaggerated.
Good man. Also, only $255,000 in restitutions. He's like, I stole way more than that.
When I guess there's never enough for these people.
No.
They just want more and more.
Yeah. You got. I mean, it's the thrill of the hunt. I think the thrill to spit on American soldiers and women. And get money and pussy. You know how it is. By mixing stolen valor, Tinder, and AI, one man was able to engage in much more convoluted scam. Let's talk about the AI soldier dating scam. A UK woman named Mary fell victim to a romance scam after engaging in a lengthy online relationship with a man on Tinder named Mike Murdy. It's a great British name. My name's Mike Murdy. I'm a boxer from Liverpool. Mike Murdy was supposedly a 61-year-old U.S. Army colonel that was stationed in the UK. Mary, who had been single for over 20 years, red flag, was excited to talk to this seemingly perfect man. She was sent videos of Mike in his uniform and claimed that he was incredibly handsome. As it turns out, this was an AI character designed to scam people on dating apps, and his persona was complete with a tragic backstory. Being a man, lost his wife to cancer, and with AI images that lived together to serve as proof. After giving the supposed soldier her address, she received jewelry and other trinkets that further cemented her infatuation with them. And a note was included that read this, and I quote, "You're the one I want to be with now and forever." I'll tell you what though, she's probably leaving some fucking snail trails around her house. 20 years single and she gets that letter? Get a bucket. Get some bucket and some towels. That's all I gotta say. Murdy claimed he was close to retirement and wanted her to help cash in on a life insurance policy for his deceased wife. Sure. Apparently this required her to send him money from her own bank account in order to have a briefcase of $766,000 delivered to her. To be fair. And after paying $12,600, the briefcase arrived locked. She was then instructed to pay another $12,600 in order to get the 6-digit access code.
The risk of explosive devices everywhere. It's against the Army's rules and regulations. But I wanted to reach out to you to make sure the briefcase is delivered right to your doorstep.
She became suspicious. This is what Murray said. In it, he claimed that she was focused on the money rather than their loving relationship. Manipulative sucker. She caved and sent the money, now losing a total of $25,000. She was ghosted and eventually opened the briefcase to find piles of blank. When it comes to stolen valor, she found people posing as members of military. But stolen valor can also include impersonating a police officer. Some would say that this is far more dangerous, seeing as these people will sometimes take the law into their own hands, using this newfound persona to power trip, like the case of Jeremy DeWitt's. This is the danklet in that guy. There you go, Jeremy DeWitt. This guy's a fucking nut. Jeremy DeWitt is a Florida man who, since the late 1990s, has been impersonating a police officer. He's harassed civilians and scammed people for over 20 years. He was originally caught for his crimes early on in 2001, which would be far from his first run-in with the law. And in 2003, he was sentenced to 2 years in jail for impersonating a police officer. And then in 2005, he was convicted for lewd and lascivious battery involving a minor. For this, he was given a year sentence and he was forced to join the sex offender registry. In 2009, he was sentenced for an additional 4 years for breaching the stipulations of his parole. It was after being released from prison that his stolen valor antics began to ramp up. DeWitt started a company that, on the surface, was a funeral procession escort service called Metro State Special Services. They would have the hearse and people lined up and drive. That's it. And he would just drive in front of them.
Are you on the one where it lets you create your own class?
Yeah.
Yeah, I found that cool though, because I was like, I kind of knew what I had in mind. I was like, I want to focus on like the speech options, so like increasing charisma. I want to focus on like stealth, daggers, and bows. Like wait, and then
I guess Skyrim's is similar, but it's like
look, it's simpler.
No, I mean it has like a big skill tree.
Yeah.
I have no idea what to choose. What specialization did you choose?
I kind of forgot like what each thing was. What are the specializations?
Combat, magic, and stealth.
Combat.
thinking too.
But he made uniforms that looked identical to that of police officers, and even their company vehicles resembled police cruisers. He began hiring several people, most of which seemed to be wannabe police officers who wanted to join what seemed to be a mini police force operating illegally. And at one point, they had 18 cruisers being operated by their company. People say it operated like a cult. While impersonating police, they began using their illusion of power to harass people and illegally direct traffic. They'd speed and weave through cars whenever they were on the road while blaring horns and sirens. And in many cases, they would try to pick fights with other drivers. The wider public started to become aware of his crimes, mainly because he would post his body cam.
This is Citicorp Center. In the summer of 1978, it had been open for less than a year when its structural engineer Bill LeMessurier made a terrifying discovery. His cutting-edge skyscraper, an engineering marvel, had a fatal flaw. Winds of just 110 kilometers per hour could cause it to collapse in the middle of Manhattan, potentially killing thousands. Over 200,000 people lived and worked in the surrounding area, and hurricane season was only weeks away.
Here I am, the only man in the world who knew this. This thing is in real trouble.
LeMessurier faced a stark choice. He could stay silent and hope for the best, or he could try to fix it and risk professional ruin and mass panic. But Citicorp Center had a 100% probability of total collapse by the end of the century. How could he save humanity from a near-certain disaster? And how was this allowed in the first place? Veritasium producer and engineer Henry Van Dyke traveled to New York to investigate further.
So in the 1960s, the financial giant Citicorp was trying to build a new headquarters in Manhattan. So just down the street from their original headquarters was this entire city block, which was up for sale. Well, everything except for this church, St. Peter's. So Citicorp came to the past. Well, down the street from their financial giant Citicorp was trying to
investigate further.
So in the 1960s, the financial giant Citicorp was trying to build a new headquarters in Manhattan. So just down the street from their original headquarters was this entire city block, which was up for sale. Well, everything except for this church, St. Peter's. So Citicorp came to the pastor, Ralph Peterson, and asked, "What's it going to take for you guys to leave?" And he came back and said, "We're not leaving. Anything that Citicorp builds has to involve the church as part of it." What the pastor wanted was for the church to have its own separate identity. So eventually they agreed on two things. One was to replace this old crumbling Gothic church with a brand new one, which you see in front of you. And the second thing was that the church had to be physically distinct from the new tower.
In other words, it had to be completely independent. And again, most importantly, 2/3 of the space above the church had to be free and clear, had to be open.
Citicorp then hired architect Hugh Stubbins to design the tower and the church, and Bill LeMessurier as the structural engineer. Stubbins explained the constraints they faced. The church needed to be in the exact same spot, and they needed to build the tower around it. If they were to maximize the floor area, they would have to notch out one corner of the tower for the church. LeMessurier agreed that could work, but why not notch 2, 3, or even all 4 corners, essentially constructing the skyscraper on stilts?
Dude, the katana, bro. I was so pissed, bro. I was so pissed. Low-key, I was gonna that kind of is what made me be like, you know what, fuck, I'm gonna be a dagger person instead of a swordsman, because I was like,
First time in history that an engineer has come to an
that is annoying, bro. I don't know if there's any like secret way to avoid that
would
shit.
serve two main purposes. First, they would need to support at least half of the building's gravity load. The rest would be held up by a
I think I tried.
larger central column. Second, they would need to withstand the load due to high winds.
Okay, where do I go now?
But unlike an ordinary structure, the stilts wouldn't be at the corners. They would be at the center of each face.
Imagine a chair, and instead of the columns or the supports on each corner of the chair, it's at the
They
mid
should
point
have fucking
of
remade the
each
map like
side.
Skyrim.
Obviously,
What a fucking
it's not an
hell.
ideal situation.
Well, it made it the exact same as Skyrim.
No. I'm saying, like, you know how the Skyrim one was more like interactive than like a real map.
Yeah.
Like it was a nice map. This is just
Yeah,
like,
the Skyrim one was a little disorientating at sometimes, though.
a little bit, yeah.
It doesn't seem very stable.
Exactly. So it created an engineering problem.
Oh, the only major changes that I know they made to the game is that they added like a parrying mechanic and added a sprint, and that's the only two like major changes, like gameplay changes that I know that they made. It's like pretty, from what I can tell, like authentic to the original game.
Problem. He suddenly had a flash
The
of
sewer's
inspiration.
annoying to get out of.
He grabbed a napkin and sketched out an idea. He drew 6 layers of diagonal braces up each
Hello?
face of the tower.
Yeah.
Was the sewers annoying to get out of?
Sewers?
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean by the sewers.
Like when you leave the place after the guy gets killed.
Oh no, that shouldn't last you like that long at all.
What?
You should get out in no time. Once the king dies, the emperor dies. You should get to the overworld pretty shortly after that.
Okay.
These chevrons would transfer the forces to the middle of each face and down to the stilts.
Now we have to see the gravity loads, right? But now here's the trick. The gravity loads are coming down the column. When they get to the brace, they need to find their way into the brace.
Okay.
So take out that column right there. There is
Oh
no
shit,
way.
the little Skyrim cameo.
Now here's the trick. The gravity loads are coming down the column.
You see that? On the gate?
6 layers of
No, I didn't.
diagonal braces up each face of the tower. These chevrons would transfer the forces to the middle of each face and down to the stilts.
Now we have to see the gravity loads, right? But now here's the trick. The gravity loads are coming down the column. When they get to the brace, they need to find their way into the brace.
Okay.
So what you do is you take out that column right there. There is no way
Look at
that
Discord.
load can jump over and go to that column. And now they're coming down into the braces. They get down to the bottom here, and now they continue to go down. You take that column out. It has nowhere to go except into the brace.
By removing the columns at the top and middle of each chevron, every tier acted as a separate unit. They were only connected to the braces and through the central core. So every 8 stories, half of the gravity load would be forced through the chevrons to the mid-face columns, leading down to the stilts.
Can you tell me how big of a new idea was this?
Yeah, well, this particular system was entirely unique, driven by the placement of the columns, driven by the conditions of the building.
Satisfied the chevrons could transfer the gravity load,
Yo,
the measure
this
turns
is
attention
amazing.
to the second problem.
This is like good Skyrim.
That's what I said, bro. It's like Skyrim. What?
No, I'm saying I know. Like I see what you mean now.
Yeah, like it just feels like a more modernized Skyrim. Like, fuck it, bro. Like, that's the type of games we need, bro. Even if it's probably a lot less cool to. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I don't know if it's more cool or less cool to people who played the original Oblivion. But like for us, I feel like it's cool because like we get to experience this in like a completely new story that like none of us know.
Yeah.
So yeah, this kind of it literally does feel like a new Skyrim because we don't know the story of it.
These joints, but there's a better way. Because beams and columns are much stronger in compression or tension than they are with bending loads. So if we add diagonal bracing, they can carry this horizontal load. The beams sort of act like springs. When they're compressed, they push on the joints. When they're stretched, they pull inwards. With braces like these, the wind load compresses this diagonal and stretches this one.
Is that crab
The left
chasing
column
me?
pulls down in tension, and the right column pushes up in compression. Where the braces meet, they both push the bottom beam to the right. This stretches the
Give me
left
those
side and
clams.
compresses the right column.
Pearl.
But this floor is the top of the next chevron, so this lower section is carrying the force from the layer above it, and the normal wind load from the side. And this keeps happening at every chevron, so the wind load builds up as you go down the building. But Citicorp can't have corner columns like this because of the gravity load. So in the wind, this entire triangle wants to rotate like this. And to prevent that from happening, this chevron pulls down by going into tension, and the far chevron pushes up in compression. The top and bottom beams are again forced into compression and tension. The wind load ends up wrapping around the entire building, so every chevron works to transfer the wind load to the section below.
When we think about skyscrapers, like how big of a deal is wind?
If we made a skyscraper here, out of all these different things, you push with your phone, you get a certain amount of force. But then you push on my phone as well with a certain amount of force, but your phone is also pushing on my phone. And so that's the shear in the building, what we call the building shear. It increases as you go down the building.
Who's this bitch? Why is she trying to
On the
shoot?
10th floor, you may have a smaller force.
Bandit Bowman? Get the fuck out of here.
Some fucking bum. Some fucking goon.
Is like carrying everything above it. So it's much bigger
Your
than what's
bow
going on
and
the
your
16th
arrow,
floor.
bitch.
So these chevrons
Your
were
dagger
key to
and your
LeMaisure's
pants.
design.
I got a new
Braces
outfit.
were
Let's go.
massive, almost 40 meters long end to end. So even if you could fabricate a steel brace that long, there would be no way to get it through Manhattan. So instead, it was sent in pieces to be welded together on site. The chevron bracing solved the wind and gravity load issues, but it also created a different problem.
Because of the chevron bracing system, they were able to save a lot of money and weight. It was a lighter construct than most other buildings in New York. I think it was 22 pounds a square foot, which is very light. Unfortunately, that made the building swayable. It could move in the wind. That wasn't necessarily a structural problem. It was just, it could have been uncomfortable for the patrons.
The way they could solve this was just, let's add more structural steel and make it a lot stiffer. But the solution that LeMaisure came up with was far more elegant.
He adopted something that had been regularly used in bridges, power lines, and ships, but never before in a building. A tuned mass damper, or TMD.
So we're here at Stark Laboratories, and I'm not with Iron Man, but instead the Columbia Space Initiative, a student team here on campus who has helped us build this incredible tuned mass damper kind of system.
We'll use this cart to represent a building. By pulling it back and releasing it, we can excite its resonant frequency.
And then we'll put on a little pendulum, aluminum rod, and a mass at the bottom.
As the building sways, it transfers some of its kinetic energy to the pendulum, which starts to swing. Then some of its energy is dissipated through friction at the hinge. The pendulum and the building oscillate out of phase from each other, so every time the building pulls the pendulum in a different direction, more energy is lost, significantly damping the sway of the tower. But this system needs to be carefully tuned so it has the same frequency as the building itself and the right amount of friction. So first, the mass needs to be at least 1 to 5% of the building's weight to be effective, and we tune the frequency of the TMD by adjusting the length of the pendulum.
I assume engineers do math around this thing, but we're just doing it by feel.
Second, by loosening or tightening the bolt, we can
The
tune
fuck?
the amount of damping. We need to dissipate more energy from
The
friction at the
bandit just
hinge
died.
to stop the swaying faster.
We just tighten this top bolt to make the whole system.
How does that happen?
Add a little bit more resistance.
I don't know.
We'll see if we can dampen it further.
Much different, yeah.
Yeah, that looked great. That was so quick.
Yeah, that was.
It is cool when an experiment works. Does not always happen.
There are many different types of TMDs, like pendulums, liquid columns, and a large mass on springs. LeMessurier used this last one in Citicorp.
What you see is a mass of concrete which is 29 feet square and about 8 feet thick and weighs 400 tons.
It was installed on the top floor and is affectionately known as that great block of cheese. As Citicorp sways to one side, the block starts to move in the same direction. Some energy is dissipated through separate viscous dampers. Citicorp's oscillations are damped through those energy losses as the block oscillates out of phase to the building's motion.
LeMessurier expected the damper to reduce the amplitude of swaying by roughly 50%, and he saved around $4 million by not needing an additional 2,800 tons of structural steel. With both the chevron bracing to channel forces to the surface and the tuned mass damper to reduce wedging.
Did you make your person a human?
An Imperial. What?
I made mine Argonian.
I think Imperials, like when you were choosing your race, I think it said Imperials have the highest like speech stat, and so that was like one of the things I was going after.
Why did the wolf have a lockpick?
What?
The wolf had a lockpick.
I feel like that shit happens in Skyrim too, where like random monsters have random ass shit.
Just summoned a weapon.